All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel World of Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel World of Wrestling. Here today to discuss about AEW Rampage and WWE Smackdown for November 26, 2021. I tried to upload a scheduled appointment for you guys of me going live here today. I thought maybe since I didn't have much to do on Friday night, and I was able to watch both both SmackDown and Rampage back to back, I thought I'd be able to come on here and give you guys a full-fledged review on both shows at the same time in one vid and actually go live doing it. So I'll be able to talk to you guys, whoever shows up here. Everything got messed up. I tried scheduling it off of my phone, thinking I could do it directly off of my computer after I got ready to come on here and give you guys the full-fledged review on both shows. But unfortunately, that was not the case. It didn't give me that option to select live for that scheduled video that I am now doing here with this other one I rescheduled. So you probably would see two different scheduled appointments for us to go live. But well, SME Wrestling, if you're wanting to go ahead and watch Rampage, go ahead and tune off of this live stream because I'm going to be giving out spoilers, unfortunately. So, and you just saying hi back to you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Come back and view the actual video of the complete Rampage results, so you don't get spoiled on that. So I'll catch you again later. Leave me a comment down below once you get through watching the video. Anyway, guys, anyone that doesn't want to be spoiled and haven't seen Rampage, get set. I'm going over that first. That's the first thing I'm going over. So if you want to come back a little bit later once I get to the SmackDown review end of this, by all means. I know for a fact most of you did not watch SmackDown. I don't blame you. There was really nothing much on this show that was remotely entertaining at all anyway. But since Rampage is only an hour show and it's going to take only a few moments for me to get through the entire results and what took place on the show, I'll just go into that first. And not to mention that was the better show anyway, despite the fact Rampage wasn't all Super E has to offer every single time. I mean, if you guys didn't check out the promo of the century between CM Punk and MJF, I'm sorry to tell you, you missed out on an amazing promo between two of the best workers on the mic you can possibly think of right now in today's modern day wrestling. And I was super impressed with that. Rampage was just a light show with a lot of decent wrestling taking place. So it was an hour of good wrestling. Nothing really storyline-wise took place on this show very much. But we did get a match announced between Tony Nese and Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship for I believe it's going to be on Rampage next Friday. So that's actually something noteworthy and worthy enough to be is Daniel Garcia and Eddie Kingston going one-on-one. So really, this was an all right match. I mean, it was nothing special. Eddie Kingston, though, did pick up the victory, but the interesting part was the ending of the match. At the end of all of this, they went ahead and state that what am I fucking talking about? I'm losing track of thought here. They had Chris Jericho come out of the commentary booth to help Eddie Kingston out, which blew me away. Eddie Kingston was protected by Chris Jericho. I don't know where this is leading to. But Daniel Garcia in 2.0 attacked Eddie Kingston after the match was over. Unfortunately, they did not. They didn't particularly care. They really just beat the living shit out of him like nobody's business. And Jericho came and made the save at the end of that match. Once the match was over, I should say. Kevin Abreu says AEW paid you $5 to say something nice about AEW Dynamite. Don't lie. Don't lie. Actually, he's saying don't lying. I don't know I don't understand your grammar, but you really need to work on that. Apologize, but your writing absolutely sucked. No, I wasn't paid $5 by AEW to say something nice. But personally, if I was getting paid by AEW, I wouldn't even need this channel personally. No offense to you guys. I'd be giving you guys great television on AEW. So, and they already got that covered. So they don't need me for that stuff. WWE could use me, but there's one small problem. They're not interested or in business to provide good television to us fans. So tough luck for us for who are actually tuned in to watch this shit. Anyway, Matt87 Eagle says, I'll take Tony Khan's money to say positive things about AEW. Better than Vince McMahon's blood money. Blood money? Well, I'm not getting the reference unless you're talking about the Saudis from the Middle East there. But yeah, I mean, if I was going to choose between who I would actually pick to get paid off for to say positive things about, yet the fucking shit is legitimately positive to say something positive about, I'd take Tony Khan's money over Vince McMahon's money. I mean, man, I'd have to be sucking Vince McMahon's dick to actually be accepting this garbage, man. This is fucking terrible booking. Really fucking terrible shit. Anyway, Daniel Garcia won his lost his match to Eddie Kingston, I should say. The opener of the show was Bobby Fish and Adam Cole, baby, against Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta. And this match was actually a solid opener. Could have been the main event. Honestly, that's what I thought should have been the main event. It was a good match. And Adam Cole and Bobby Fish win this match. Bobby Fish is actually the one who got the victory. I'm very happy for Bobby Fish. He finally got a victory on live television instead of taking an L. He got a W this time and won it for his team. So I'm very happy about that, number one. And number two, the match was really good. Very entertaining stuff. Noteworthy to be a main event possibly. But yeah, I'm really enjoying what we had here with the opener. And the mid portion of the show was just Britt Baker losing to Riho. Ugh, didn't like this. Yeah, Kevin, you think I'm being paid by Tony Khan? I'm gonna throw a rant in here. Why is our champion losing to Riho? Why? Because Riho happened to not be eliminated in the Battle Royale that took place 2 months ago? Or 3 months ago almost now? Really? That pisses me off. That was one thing on Rampage I did not like. I thought that was a bunch of horse shit. Yeah, I did not like that at all. The match was okay. It wasn't terrible. But the ending of the match was fucking bloody awful. I did not appreciate what they did here. This was terrible. And how they can be okay with doing this? What is this, just a way of giving Britt Baker a challenger for her AEW Women's Championship? They could have done it another way. What the hell do they have to make her, take an L from Riho to do that? That's retarded. I didn't like that at all. Overall, the action and the matches were good. It was a very light, laid-back show for AEW Rampage. It was nothing special to cry home about, but if you're interested in some good wrestling, it definitely had that on this entire show. So I'm not too upset with that. I just did not like the end result of the Britt Baker Riho match altogether. I thought that was shit. That really pissed me off. She won by a roll-up pinfall, no less. That was another thing that pissed me off. Matt87 Eagle says AEW better have a damn good reason to have a champion lose. I just stated, Matt87 Eagle, I honestly think that they did that simply so that they have a challenger for Brett Baker to go up against for right now. I think that's really all they had going for them. The only explanation I can clearly come up with, I mean, you can clearly hear that coming out of my mouth on this channel. That's the only logical reasoning behind why they made her lose. Just so they have a person to challenge for the AEW Women's Championship. Other than that, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. That was fucking ridiculous. No fucking reason in hell she should be losing her match to Riho. What the fuck does Riho have to do? She hasn't done nothing on this fucking in this promotion since she lost the women's title. Nothing. She's been shit. And her run as champion wasn't all that great either. At least Hikaru Shida did something with that title. She had some really good matches. Riho was bland as fuck in her title defenses. I thought they were terrible. She was one of the worst women's champion of all time since this company started. So I'm not giving her any fucking respect whatsoever. Yeah, she's okay in the ring. I'm not going to, shit on her on that. But everything else about her, I mean, like, she brings no element of interest at all. She has no character development. She's got nothing going for her. And that's where her issue lies, personally. So that's just my attitude on that. Let me pull up the Smackdown result worthy or even remotely deserving to be cared about. It's just a fucking joke, man. I mean, Smackdown really made me miserable sitting through that shit. I honestly, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even give a flying fuck to watch this shit. Honestly. I'd have to be a goddamn moron to be watching this garbage. Anyway, let me go ahead and pull up the results. Give you the segment by segment. I will, I'm actually on another screen, so I can't see what chats are coming in. So I will come back and take a look and see what's going on. We move through here to see if there was any new here and answer them back for us to have a full-on interaction. So I definitely want to go ahead and so the opener of this show, we had Kayla Brown welcoming. The quick question for you guys before getting the end results of all of this and be able to laugh at how fucking pathetic this is. Didn't John what's his fucking name? I forgot his fucking name. Bill and Adam Pearce, that's it. Didn't Adam Pearce, I can't believe I forgot his name, but who the hell wants to remember this shit? I mean, come on. And Adam Pearce, didn't we hear him, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Adam Pearce state something about him more than likely going to lift? That might have been what triggered me to think that he's lifting his suspension. Let me just take a look and see if any of you guys answered that question. All right, so Daniel says WWE still sucks so bad. Hashtag WWE is dead forever like Batman's parents. Daniel, I have to agree. I honestly think that WWE has no chance in hell referencing Vince McMahon's theme song for his entrance. Yeah, they definitely have no chance in hell, Daniel. I don't think they're ever going to recover from this because they have interest in doing that. They have no thrive or pursuit to do better. I mean, if you really look back in the day in the 90s, when they were getting their asses kicked by WCW, you saw some kind of fight in them, wanting to improve, the desire to be better than what they did the week before. You don't see any of that on WWE. I don't care if their ratings are tanking. They are not trying at all. Clearly, you can see they're not trying at all. So, Matt 87 Eagle says, watching shit down and Monday night boredom kills more brain cells than alcohol. Actually, I'll even go further than that, and I already stated this. Marijuana doesn't kill as many brain cells as SmackDown and Monday Night Raw does. Honestly. I really, really can't believe this shit is actually on TV. I honestly don't know how this is on television. I don't know how it gets past these networks and allowing this shit on their stations. But honestly, if I was running one of these stations, like Fox being one of the bigger stations that they're a part of, I would definitely say, you're terrible. You couldn't produce a good show if it... Vincent Mann's more... Daniel says, Vincent Mann is more like Vince McHitler. Vince Mann is more like Vince McHitler. Soon enough, he'll start having the same mustache Adolf Hitler had. Only one problem. He starts cooking people inside of a gas chamber. We're really all fucked. But technically, metaphorically speaking, that's kind of like what he does by burying everybody. So, you know, that's Vincent Mann for you in a nutshell, man. I mean, this is going to be a pure, full-fledged bashing extravaganza throughout most of this review. I mean, seriously. If you expected anything more than that, you got to be out of your fucking mind. Honestly. Anyway, they don't do rumors on the island of relevancy. Heyman says Kayla is just trying to take the spotlight for. Heyman says he's ashamed of Kayla for her shoddy reporting. I don't know, man. I mean, Paul Heyman was kind of told that Brock Lesnar was coming off a suspension at one point. I don't remember what episode it was, but he had a smile on his face. I don't understand what the fuck Vincent Mann's smoking, but it's probably crystal meth. Who the fuck knows? The guy's a mental case. I mean, every time we see him, he looks more decrepit after each and every appearance on television, whether it's on pay-per-view or on live television. The guy is absolutely ridiculous. The fucking Monday Night Raw, I mean, you guys, if you haven't seen, I mean, there's been 117 views of this fucking video. So if you haven't seen it yet, go view it. You'll get a huge laugh where they run after an Easter egg. It's a scavenger hunt for an Easter egg, practically. He's a little ahead of time. Someone ought to remind him we're in the month of November and December. We're not in April yet. Shit. But man, more and more stupid here. I mean, they have a main event with a battle royale. Battle royal. Now, I will admit to you guys, battle royals to crown #1 contenders. I will agree with you that it's both shows, both AEW and WWE need to stop with the battle royals. It doesn't do shit. It doesn't help build anything. Look what happened at the end of the show. We had Jeff Hardy supposedly win the battle royal, and then he gets thrown out because supposedly Sami Zayn was not truly eliminated the proper way. He wasn't thrown over the top rope, which I didn't catch at all. I thought he got eliminated. I thought he was thrown off the top rope onto the floor, and that was not the case. I'll have to go back and see that if I'm even remotely interested in seeing. Probably won't, because who the fuck wants to sit through and watch this shit again? But yeah, Sami Zayn wins the match for the main event. He's supposedly now the #1 contender for the WWE Universal Championship. So we're going ahead and we're about ready to have Kayla Braxton at the end of the show talk to Sami Zayn And then she cuts him off like he means nothing. He just won the Battle Royal. He's your number one contender. Why would you do that to your number one contender? You couldn't go ahead and state that after he got his moment to speak? You cut the man completely. Sami Zayn doesn't... If anyone can say... If Sami Zayn wants to go back on this, there's a conspiracy theory here of him getting screwed. That is proof right there. Proof right fucking there, man. That was utterly ridiculous. Why would you crown him as the number one contender and then make an announcement that Brock Lesnar is showing up on Smackdown next week without giving the man the opportunity? There ain't no number one contender. What, Sami Zayn's going to be overshadowed by Brock Lesnar now that he's been lifted from his suspension? And besides, what is Brock Lesnar doing at this point? What is he going to do? Have a match with Roman Reigns at year one? Why? Supposedly. And the worst part is there's supposed rumors Brock Lesnar might win the damn title. I hope those rumors are not true, but if they are, well, there won't be any more reason for me to review any of this shit on this channel anymore. Because I'm not going to waste my time after I saw in 2014 Brock Lesnar end the fucking undefeated streak at WrestleMania for The Undertaker. And then he's going to go ahead and take this run that Roman Reigns is on, save it for a new and upcoming superstar, and strip that away from them. It's the same thing with The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. No different. That streak should have been saved. That's all there is to it. Instead, Brock Lesnar got the win. For what? To state, tune in to WWE Network. A lot of surprises since they started this WWE Network shit. This company just becomes worse and worse every fucking year. So what the hell I give a shit? Anyway, let me look back on the comments, see what's being made here. Matt87 Eagle says Raw is the gas chambers. I think WWE in general, Matt, is the right word. Daniel says WWE World War II and Wrestle Concentration Camp Mania. And then Daniel says Squid Game is better than this company. How about that? I never did that. I played that game ever. I don't even know what the hell it is. I don't know really what it is. I don't know if it's a TV show, an actual game. I have no idea. I've heard of it, but I don't know a damn thing about it, nor does it really matter. At least on this channel anyway. But no offense to you, Daniel, if you're interested in that. Well, Matt, you tell me, what do they do on television? For me, I'll sit here and I'll wait for your response. I'm waiting for your response. I'm going to go ahead and continue on with this review because I don't want to sit here too long waiting for your response in case maybe you're not listening to the entire thing. But I'll continue and I'll come back to that. Okay, it's a Korean show on Netflix. I don't really care. Now answer the other question, Matthew. What does WWE do on television week after week inside a ring with 3 ropes on all sides of that ring? What do? They don't appreciate wrestlers. Tell me, because I've been saying it. I want to hear it from someone else. You're about the only person who's communicating with me outside of Daniel. So either one of you two that are hearing this question, please answer me what they do in the middle of that ring. Anyway, let's continue on with the needs to present facts instead of presenting rumors to the tribal chief. Heyman tells Kate this leave the ring. Brock Lesnar showing up on this show. It's not all that important. Reigns says rumors only give losers false hope. Ain't that the truth, Reigns? That has a remote chance to be believable enough to beat him for the WWE Universal Championship. Not one. Maybe Randy Orton, but he's old news. He's old. He's done pretty much everything he possibly could do. He's had 14 title reigns as a WWE champion, both World and WWE Championship. I don't think he's ever held the Universal Championship, which is kind of funny. Yeah, he's never. Reigns needs to catch up with the wins and loss record with Brock Lesnar, in my personal opinion. But, you know, it is what it is. So Reigns continues on. He says he's beaten everyone. Lesnar is the biggest loser of them all. Reigns flew all around the world and smashed Lesnar's ass. That meant anything, folks. Did any of that bullshit that they did in the middle of that ring mean anything? Was it champion for championship with both of the titles on the line to be a unified championship belt? No. None of it meant anything. They were wrestling each other for no good reason. Might as well should have been on a Raw or Smackdown show. So Reigns says management is getting desperate. Did they book a battle royal? He says. Reigns laughs and says maybe 3 or 4 people should win. Reigns will smash them all, and he's the greatest of all time, he states. When Reigns' days are done around here, which could be sooner rather than later, the whole world will acknowledge him. And that's pretty damn soon in the next year or two. Longer. And who can blame him? You're working for the shittiest company in the gosh darn world when it comes to pro wrestling. Oops, I said that again. Uh-oh. Pro wrestling, not allowed to say it's blasphemy for WWE. Only one problem. In their abbreviation, it stands for World Wrestling Entertainment. Isn't that hilarious? Holy shit, man. All right, let's go back. No new comments there, so I'm going to move on. If you guys want to leave any comments while I do this review, I will come back and state them on the live stream. So don't be Madcap Muss. This was a fucking desmal of a match. I mean, it really wasn't terrible, but I honestly don't care for Happy Corbin and Mad. Relationship is fucking stupid as hell. There's nothing entertaining. They're not anywhere like a George Carlin. They're trying to act like stand-up comedians. They could never come close to a George Carlin. Hell, even come close to a Sandler doing stand-up. And Adam Sandler doing stand-up. You know, movies, don't get me wrong. But I actually think his stand-up comedy is better than his actual movies. They're funnier. There's only a couple of movies that are probably funnier than his acting, than his stand-up comedy. I'd have to say like Little Nick, a lot of his old stuff, like Little Nicky, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, some other movies in the Waterboy. Also had a touch of comedy thrown in to make it enjoyable for everyone to watch. So it was kind of a dual thing for an enjoyable watch for both a guy and a girl together on a date. I mean, he did a couple of other good movies after that too. His comedy acts, with his movie, and that was pretty much it. I did enjoy some of his later movies in his career anyway. That's My Boy was definitely one of them I enjoyed. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Downright sick, demented movie. But moving on from Adam Sandler movies and stand-up comedy, these two guys are a pathetic act. It's fake, it's phony, and it's ridiculous. Jeff Hardy and Drew McIntyre thankfully win this match with a Swanton bomb for the win by Jeff Hardy. Doesn't have an actual confirmation by the end of the night. She's gone. Oh, wow, she's part of the budget cuts now? They're doing live cuts on television. Holy shit, guys, this is a breaking news. They're actually doing budget cuts live on television while the show is on the air. This is amazing shit. Whoa. At least that's what Heyman is pushing for. So, up against Cesaro. Really, I believe it was to be able to allow that person, whoever won the match, to be in the Battle Royal. Apparently, both of them were out in the Battle Royal. I don't know why they were allowed in the Battle Royal. It makes absolutely no fucking sense that they were in the Battle Royal. The both of them, when one of them lost. But they were both in the Battle Royal. Makes no sense to me, but who the fuck cares? Who needs to make sense around here when we're talking about WWE? I mean, you might as well just go ahead, take a shit in your hand, and throw it up against the wall and hope it sticks. That's what Vince McMahon and the rest of his cronies do in the board meetings when they decide to sit down and write down the fucking script for this shit show. There might as well be a couple of monkeys in the fucking boardroom throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. Most of the work. Cesaro took most of the beating. And I gotta say, Ridge Holland looked really good. My one question is, if you're making him look that damn good, why would you make him lose to Cesaro after he beat the living shit out of him? And not to mention, he won by a roll-up pinfall. He didn't do a neutralizer. He just did a roll-up pinfall and got the victory. And Ridge Holland stands there looking completely stupid and mentally retarded. I don't get it. I really don't, man. Fucking joke. Great match, great work by Ridge Holland, and he's made to look like a fucking putz. Enough get built on this promotion. There ain't no being pushed the right way. It's never gonna happen. Long gone and dead. That ain't ever happening. We then had a Thanksgiving leftovers throwdown type match. Some fucking stupid thing as to live up to the slogan of what happened yesterday and make a joke out of it in a leftovers throwdown. Big fucking whooped. Rick Boogs was manager Angel. Yes, folks. He's no longer Angel Garza. He's just Angel. Let me ask folks a question. I'll go right back to the actual chat and see if anyone answers. The other question, Herberto or Herberto Carrillo? I think them having their last names included with their first names. Why isn't Rick Boogs and Shinsei Nakamura not going by one name? It's real simple, folks, because Angel Garza and Herberto Carrillo are fucking jobbers. They're jobbers. They're made to be jobbers. And that's what Angel Garza and Herberto Carrillo are. They're jobbers. They're no longer part of the main roster and meant to do anything special. All right, so let's go back over to the actual comments. Matt87 Eagle says, this show sucks so much that this guy is naming off Sandler movies, and they are all more entertaining. Matt likely more like Vince Russo. Let me repeat that again. Vince McMahon more like Vince Russo. I apologize about messing up your comment there, Daniel. Not quite understand what you mean by that. Vince McMahon more like Vince Russo. I think Vince Russo has done better booking than this dumbass. Honestly. Vince Russo in fucking 2000 with WCW is booking better shows than this. And their shows were fucking terrible. But this takes the fucking cake the way WWE is making their shows now. I mean, it's fucking unreal. Matt87 Eagle says, take a shot every time Vince's kills a wrestler by cutting off their names. Matt, I think we'd all be getting drunk at this point with the amount of wrestlers he's cut off their names. I mean, it's ridiculous. By the way, I I have a 6-pack of Corona. I could drink them while I'm on the fucking show if I wanted to. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be professional here. Even though half of the time I don't sound professional at all, the cussing and swearing and being angry all the time. I ought to be like more like these other idiots that go ahead and pretend the show's great when it really isn't. Oh, yeah, that'd do me a lot of good. I guarantee you half of you guys would fucking unsubscribe to this channel or think my brain was lobotomized and reconstructed. Anyway, just want to ask, are you guys having any problems hearing me, or is the video acting weird? Because I'm getting a message on there saying that the connection is unstable. Daniel says WWE so bad. People, I got in front of me here, some notification. Daniel says WWE so bad, people confuse it with Fallout 76. They confuse it with a video game. All right. Well, that's fantastic. Very good stuff. I think that's what you're referencing to when you say Fallout 76, because I know there's a game called Fallout. So if I'm wrong, please inform me of that, because that's what I think you're referring to. And that was actually a pretty entertaining game, I think. A little longer than I expected. I was thinking maybe like 40 minutes like usual, and I've been going to BC Amplified here. I don't even get super chats. Anyway, Angel Garza wins his match against Shinsei Nakamura. So once again, we have a champion losing his match and losing to a guy with a fucking jobber name on his ass while he's standing on top of a table full of fucking Thanksgiving shit. And he's playing his guitar on his ass. And then Boogs turns around and walks right into the win for the win. And actually, Rick Boogs was in this match and lost the match to Angel Garza. So that's how that match went and how it ended. Pretty pathetic, really lame, stupid as shit. Backstage, Kayla asked Pierce who's going to be in the Battle Royal tonight. Pierce says the list will be posted on his door once he's given approval. Kayla asks if Pierce knows anything about Lesnar's suspension being lifted, and Pierce says he knows nothing about that, and he would be shocked if that were, he'd be shocked. Sorry, Mandatory WrestleZone actually is fucking up with the row here. He would be shocked if they lifted his suspension, because he feels he's a menace and a black eye to this company. Folks, I don't think Brock Lesnar is a black eye to this company. I think WWE as a whole is a black eye to itself. Bottom line. And that's because World of Wrestling said so. A robotic time. My name is Charlotte Flair. I am here to go ahead and talk about how I'm better than everyone, even Becky Lynch. I admit that she won the match, but she did it by cheating. I didn't cheat, but she did. Yeah, okay. Whatever, lady. You're a dumbass. But yeah, that's pretty much how the story went with that. Then things got even really worse. Things got even worse when Toni Storm showed up. She was better off not even being in this segment, because what happened to her was even worse. I could not believe what we saw. Toni Storm Flair says she barely knows who Storm is. Flair tries to attack Storm, and then Storm avoids it and sends Flair out of the ring. Does she get mad? Does she attack? Does she tackle her to the ground and ground and pound her ass like she was an MMA fighter in UFC? Face as if she's an adolescent child. If somebody struck me with a pie in my face, folks, you would have to rip me off of them, because I'd be a raving lunatic trying to cut their heart out. This woman's standing there having a look on her face like, what the fuck? Like, I'm so shocked she did that to me. And then the worst part is Charlotte Flair goes ahead, wipes off some of the whipped cream off of her chest area and on her hands and on her arms and shit. And she walks back over while Toni Storm is standing there stunned and surprised by this. And she takes another pie, holds it in her hand, and then shoves it in her face. And if I didn't know any better, I think I remember her walking directly up to Charlotte Flair and then having Charlotte Flair smash it into her face as she's looking at the pie in her hand. Are you fucking kidding me here? This was a terrible, terrible fucking segment. Really terrible. I could not believe this was clearly pointing out that they're burying Toni Storm easily. They could have just left her off television, if anything else. Anyway, let's see here. So Matt87 Eagle says, I rather visit Raccoon City than watch anything from WWE. Daniel says that Fallout 76 is the worst game, like how WWE is the worst company. Hell, I'd rather be in Lady... what the hell? I might mispronounce this. Lady Description U Castle in Resident Evil 8 than see WWE around. I actually played Resident Evil 8, and damn, that fucking thing scared the shit out of me. I got through some of it and stopped playing it. I'm going to go back to it at some point down the line. I don't plan on ever selling it, so I'm probably going to eventually finish it at some point. But damn, that game scared. The first-person Resident Evil games scare the shit out of me. For whatever reason, third-person games, they don't. They don't really scare me that much. It's just normal shit. You're just killing zombies. This is a little different. It's fucking bizarre and scary as fuck. Matt87 Eagle says, of course Flair doesn't know who Toni Storm is. Vince and Bruce have been doing everything to ruin this woman's career. They don't have to do anything to ruin her career. Just keep her off television. That's ruining her career enough. Saying that she's part of the main roster, but yet never having her appear on television. I mean, this is... Honestly, what this was absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea who in their right mind thought this was good. If you thought this segment was good, you got to be smoking something. And I'm not talking about pot. You got to be smoking some heavy-duty shit like meth, PCP, sucking down some acid, some kind of shit. I don't know. But you got to be doing some hardcore drugs to actually think that this segment with Flair and Toni Storm was an excellent way to build towards their match, a one-on-one match for the Smackdown Women's Championship. Absolutely fucking dreadful. Unbelievable. Daniel says, if I see Vince or Bruce or Nick, I run away like Naruto or Joseph Joestar from JoJo. Watch this, and you have a brain in your head, and you have logical reasoning and thinking inside your brain, and you're going to come on here and say that this is good stuff. You're either getting paid to say that, or you are really, really fucked up in the head. I mean, I've come on here and said some positive shit. This stuff this year has been absolutely terrible. At least last year, there was moments here and there where SmackDown was decent. SmackDown this year has not been good at all. Not one episode has been entertaining this year. I don't think I've said one positive thing about SmackDown, except for maybe the WrestleMania run with Edge and Daniel Bryan, and that's about it. Oops, I'm sorry. I misspoke here about good old Bryan Danielson. Now Bryan Danielson, excuse me. sure Matt 87 Eagle will have something to say about that. Anyway, we get a segment from earlier today, Sasha Banks talking to Sonia Deville about the situation with Naomi and why she wasn't part of the team. She felt that her teammates really screwed her out of the match, which, by the way, folks, she was already in the ring, and yet the referee kept counting anyway. So if you really think about it, Sonya Deville paid the referee off to do all this. That's the only explanation I can come up with storyline-wise that makes any remote sense at all for why inside the ring. That's the only thing I can come up with as a way of saying that was bad officiating. It's the only thing I can come up with. But anyway, she thinks Sonya Deville has beef with Naomi, and she wants to know why. She says, I don't have beef with Naomi, Sonya Deville says. She says, but hey, you want her to be involved and be part of this? Deville says she has no issue with Naomi, Baszler, and Natalya. I don't know, but am I wrong? But didn't we see Doudrop, Natalya, and Tamina, walking up the ramp together, holding arms as if they were the best of friends? What the fuck's Natalya doing on SmackDown? Or if she's part of SmackDown, what's she doing on Raw? I mean, Natalya is part of SmackDown. She was part of the SmackDown team. So what was she doing on Raw with Tamina and Doudrop? I mean, please, do drop this bullshit. It absolutely sucks. Anyway, Sasha Banks and Naomi had the match with Shayna Baszler and Natalya. And Naomi, she got the win over you. And Naomi got the win for her team. Match was all right. It wasn't bad, actually. But do I care? No, really, I don't. Deville claps for Naomi, and Naomi leaves the ring and gets in Deville's face pretty much, thinking that she's mocking her or being sarcastic. And the way she was trying to come across to me is she was trying to be genuine about it and being professional. But I could be wrong about that. I doubt she was. She's probably being sarcastic anyway. And then that was pretty much it, man. I mean, I already discussed about the whole situation with the Drew McIntyre having a hissy fit and pretending he was Braveheart as Mel Gibson running the Battle Royal was Jeff Hardy got eliminated by Sami Zayn, and we thought Jeff Hardy was going to be the winner. I thought he was the winner of that match. If there was anyone that I would pick, entire situation. So I really don't know what to say about this, but it really doesn't matter. None of this mattered. The whole show was a complete clusterfuck of bullshit. That's all it is. It's crap. One other things to say while we close up this entire review. I'll be more than happy to chat with you guys just for a little bit longer. I'll read off the few comments that were just made. Matt 87 Eagle says, good memes at Daniel. Daniel says, thanks, Matt 87 Eagle. I just know good stuff. Hell, I would run a wrestling company better than Vince. Daniel, I think anyone would run a wrestling company better than Vince at this point. I think a 6-year-old could run a better wrestling company than Vince McMahon. Honestly. I'll give you a prime example of me, personally. I was one point in 1995, I was really into pro wrestling and got to know pro wrestling around the age of 3 in 1991. By 5 years old, I was understanding and comprehending it better, knowing what the fuck it was. And in 1995, WWE kind of went into a downward spiral. Yeah, they cared about wrestling. They didn't seem to be ashamed of it in any way, shape, or form, but they were coming up with off-the-wall kind of shit. Stuff like they're doing now, only this shit is worse now than it was then in 1995. And I went ahead and I'm like sitting there and I'm watching Raw for an hour at 9 o'clock. And this is Eastern Central Time at that time. And I'm going ahead and I'm saying to myself, what the fuck am I watching? I'm watching Doink the Clown coming out. I'm seeing all kinds of shit. And it's just a bunch of wad of bullcrap. And I'm just like, man, I got to get this off. This is garbage. I can't deal with this anymore. So I go ahead and I decide I'm going to switch the channel and watch WCW. Who do I see on WCW? Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's beating the shit out of some dude. This is actually a year before the NWO even started. And I was like, this is actually good stuff. I'm actually enjoying WCW. I'm like, damn, I'm rather watch this. And I spent most of my time watching WCW than WWF. Now, granted, I still watch WWF from time to time. But that was actually when they were able to do an hour of Nitro, and then an hour after Nitro, they did Monday Night Raw. So I was able to watch both shows, but I cared more about watching WCW Nitro. And I actually preferred Nitro because it was more adult. It was more entertaining because they cared more about the wrestling than all the Mickey Mouse bullshit they were doing on television. The names of the characters were 10 times better. I mean, you had guys like Nails. You had fucking all these lame ass names that were just Earthquake. I mean, Earthquake did go to WCW at one point and challenged, I believe he challenged Hulk Hogan in 94 for the WCW World Championship at the time. At one point, if you guys know for a fact, that probably nobody knows during that time, but if you wanted to go back and look, you probably could find it. About Hulk Hogan facing Earthquake for the WCW Championship. I know he faced Vader for the WCW Championship. It was during Bash at the Beach, I believe, 1995. It was a steel cage match. I actually watched that on the WWE Network at the time before they went to Peacock. But anyway, let me go ahead and cut right back to some of these comments because a lot of people, mostly Daniel and Matt 87 Eagle, stated something, and also Big On Wrestling stated something here as well. Thank you for joining the review, Big On Wrestling. Nice to hear from you. I've heard a lot of I've been catching a lot of your comments, and I've been answering you. So let me go ahead and go through these comments here. Daniel says, I still wish Liv would go to AEW. Eesh. I don't know. I mean, she would get better treatment there. She could also start a tag team with Ruby Soho at this point. They probably would do a great job as a tag team, or just working as allies, if anything else. I did enjoy them together in the Riot Squad, but still at the end of the day, I mean, that went nowhere. Matt 87 Eagle says, I wish Roman would go to AEW. Then he would get some actual competition. Do you really want to ruin AEW, Matt? Do you? I like AEW without Roman Reigns. I mean, yeah, he's a great asset. He's a big name too. The way he's just gotten really big in WWE based on what they've been doing, and it's not that hard. I mean, they have everyone looking like complete and utter shit. So, whatever. Big On Wrestling says, I'm watching WWE Smackdown in 2011. This shit is lit. I would say Big On Wrestling, I would say it was okay. I don't know if it was lit like the kids nowadays say, but I thought it was better than what we get now. I'll tell you that much. Big On Wrestling states, You got Alicia Fox, AJ Lee, Mark Henry, Christian, Sheamus, Randy Orton in SmackDown 2011. Yeah, they had some good names. AJ Lee was the best female wrestler during that time. The best female wrestler. There wasn't too many women wrestlers I cared for. AJ Lee not also was decent in the ring. She also had a really entertaining character, which is not found in many women these days in pro wrestling. So I got to give a lot of credit to AJ Lee. If she ever comes back, I would enjoy seeing her work. She could just be a manager for all I care. And she would do a great job just doing that alone. She doesn't have to wrestle. At least in my own look towards it, I think AJ Lee would be great as a manager to a wrestler. Matt87 Eagle says, bring back hashtag retro reviews. Well, I would, but it's not getting a lot of review. It's not getting as many views as like the other videos have gotten. AEW and WWE's content has blown up on this channel, and people are flocking to it. People are commenting on it. People are enjoying it, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the support from you guys, and I hope you are entertained by the things I have to say and what I'm doing on here, and making a comedic end of this when it's shit, make it funny and entertaining through either my rants or just the overall commentary that I state all the time about these companies when they do a bad job. So I hope I'm actually entertaining you guys with those, with the comments and just my overall viewpoint on pro wrestling lately. Daniel says GTA nightclubs are better than WWE has ever been after post 2013 or 2014. I have to agree. I think 2013, 2014 was probably the last 2 years of when this company seemed to show they cared about pro wrestling. Somewhat in 2015, they were okay. But after that, they went downhill completely. They've had their moments where they kind of went up a little bit, but every single time they were going up, they went right back down. No doubt about it. Kevin Abreu, or Curvin Abreu, I apologize if I was misstating that. I did not see the R there. I'm practically half asleep at this point. But Curvin Abreu says the worst show this week, Raw or SmackDown. Worst show of the week, I would have to say it was Raw. I mean, come on. And I'm going to close it here at this point. Raw was the absolute worst show of the week. I think Raw is the worst show every week. I mean, let's be honest. You got a bunch of wrestlers in the locker room tearing apart this fucking Barclays Center backstage looking for a gosh darn so-called $100 million. I'll do a fucking gosh darn Dr. Evil for you on that one. And looking for an Easter egg so they can get a WWE championship opportunity. And to top it all off, they have Rhea Ripley as one of the people looking for it. And the funny part is she's a female wrestler. What is she going to do? Challenge Big E for the WWE championship if she finds it? I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. The whole thing was nuts. R-Truth going in a women's bathroom and going, oh, it ain't in there. Don't go in there. Like, what the hell? I thought that was absolutely terrible. Just overall, the show is fucking terrible. Anyway, Daniel says, every time Raw is on, I'd rather fall asleep like the poppy flower scene in The Wizard of Oz. I think everyone feels the exact same way, Daniel. Exact same way. All right, last thing, and then I'll cut this off. Curvin Abreu says the NBA, the Warriors looking better this year at a 16-2 record. Yeah, I've been following the Warriors the last couple of weeks. They've been on a hot streak, and Curry has been lighting it up from three. I saw one game he was shooting threes this year. It was really recent, actually. He was shooting threes from like almost half court. Like 2 or 3 shots he took from almost half court. It was ridiculous. I'm going, What is he doing? Not even Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, never did shit like this. And I gotta say, this guy might become the new Michael Jordan or better than Michael Jordan ever was. But at the same time, we haven't seen Curry at an NBA championship for quite a while. But also to look on the other end of things, Curry doesn't have a whole lot of help like Michael Jordan did. He had Dennis Rodman, he had Scottie Pippen, he had Ron Harper, who was their point guard at one point. He was good for the last 2 years that Jordan played from in the 97-98 season. And he had a lot of help. Curry doesn't. Curry has Draymond Green, that's about it. And sometimes he ain't even there to help out with the scoring end of things. He's more on the defensive end of things. So, and Andrew Wiggins, here, hit and miss, really. He's inconsistent. What they need is Klay Thompson. Once Klay Thompson comes back, they will be solid. They won't have to worry about trying to come back from a loss or being down from a huge amount of points. But that's about it. I mean, really, he's doing a good job overall, just leading this team with the record they got. So yeah, you're right. They're having a really good season, despite the layout of Klay Thompson and Draymond Green not scoring the way he used to. Big on Wrestling says, was SmackDown good tonight? I didn't watch it. Well, if you just joined in, I'm going to just say this, and then you can go back and watch if you want to. I wouldn't. You can come back and listen to the whole thing all over again from the very beginning because I saw that you came in late. But yeah, SmackDown was terrible. SmackDown was fucking terrible. I don't think there's been one episode where SmackDown was a good show. Fucking bloody awful. But anyway, guys, at this time, it's been over an hour. I'm going to cut it short here. I am done. I've done the review. I thank you guys for coming in for the few that did. Thank you for the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed the interaction that we had here tonight with this review. So at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, of course. And leave a comment down below. And I'll get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. And also, Matt87 Eagle says, there's no such thing as a good WWE show. Ain't that the truth? Most of the time, I would agree with you. The last decent show they had was the Saudi show at Crown Jewel from last month. Other than that, the show and the company in a nutshell has been fucking awful. Anyway, guys, thank you again for watching. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.